Okay, thank you for the introduction. I mean, got everything perfect. I don't even know how much you know about me. But I'm pretty new at University of Bergen. I started in September last year. And actually the only associate or professor of data journalism in the Nordic countries, as far as I know. So that's sort of really a pleasure to have that position. But I must say, I'm not a computer scientist, I'm not a data scientist, I'm not a data linguist, but I've been working with these people for quite a few years now in different projects. So I've sort of understand how people talk, what they mean when they say certain things. And I don't have to Google everything any longer. So that's my progress. But I'm going to talk about this new project we have, and I'll start sharing my screen. Can you see this one?
It's still black for me. Now I see it.
Now. Yep.
Okay, it's working. Yeah, good. So we're having this new project, European project named Nordis, Nordic Observatory for Digital Media and Information Disorder. And it's a really hard work to get this funding from the DG Connect, the EU Directorate for Digitalization. And so we're really happy about this. And I'm going to talk slightly about this, but because we are not really have not really started yet, there's more about what we're going to do and what we have done. See now. Okay. This move. So there's part of the so-called EDMO, European Digital Media Observatory, which was started in 2020, the central hub in Southern Europe. And now this spring, DG Connect gave funding to 8 hubs around Europe, and we are part of that network of hubs. It's really interesting because there's a huge amount of research organizations and also organizations like fact checkers, which we are working with from all over Europe. So I'm sort of very much looking forward to exploring this network of different organizations. So we have University of Bergen. We have Faktis.nu, which is probably one of the what would I say, most advanced fact-checking organizations in the world, established in 2017, and they actually have a business model for fact-checking, which is quite sort of unique, because most fact-checking in the world is funded by Google or Facebook for reasons they have to sort of make sure that the disinformation is not their problem. We have Aarhus University in the lead, with Anja Beckman, professor at Aarhus, as the sort of the PI for the project. We have from Denmark also CheckDet, which is a fact-checking organization in Denmark. We have Uppsala University. We have University of Helsinki. We have Faktbar in Finland, which is a non-profit organization. We have Uppsala University, and we have Källkritikern in Sweden, which is all basically one person working there right now. So Faktis.nu is sort of a model for most of the world when it comes to fact-checking, and I'd be very happy to be working with them, and they're based in Oslo. And the vision of Nordis is create synergies, across countries and across sectors, academics and journalists, fact-checkers, educators, both in terms of developing further approaches and methods of fact-checking, transparency thereof, and sustainable business models. And we are bridging the all 4 Nordic countries, sorry, Iceland for that, allows us to consolidate a strong Nordic fact-checking network that is resilient to outside attacks with the best possible structural grounds in the world, allowing for best practice examples. And academic cross-country analysis of mis and disinformation that will resonate at international level due to the special status of the Nordic welfare state and associated ideals. I mean, we tend to talk about the Nordic welfare state model as sort of a founded on trust. Trust is the Nordic goal, we say. Okay. And for work package 3, we want to create a best practice case by bringing researchers, fact checkers, and educators together across several countries in order to create an infrastructure for consistent fact-checking practices and data structures, which will be committed to the journalistic ideas of impartiality, accuracy, and media responsibility code of practices. And it will be powered by technological developments and data assessments by the independent researchers. And there's EDMO has an existing platform, Truly Media, which allows the integration of third-party tools and services. So Nordis will develop new standalone and integrable custom-built tools for content verification. For instance, image manipulation detection, and adding an explainable recommendation system for selecting fact-checking tools. And this all sounds very good, but we're not quite sure what we're going to do yet. So the first steps, we're in the process of recruiting a researcher with a PhD, and HR has been overwhelmed by all the new recruitments. So I think we're sort of slightly beyond schedule, outside of schedule. Right now we're organizing a network, and we're going to do an ethnographic study of how fact checkers work, because we need to know what they actually do. I mean, what's happening in the working place. And we're going to deliver a mapping of fact-checking tools in February. That's the first deliverable for us in the project. And we're going to arrange a workshop on fact-checking tools in June 2020, which is going to be connected to the Global Fact Check in Oslo in the end of June. So we're going to have a workshop there. And then, of course, the main sort of ambition of the project is to develop new tools for fact checkers. And the project ends in August 2023. And this is a report from a report by John Grönwall. He has been talking to fact checkers about things we don't know. We don't know what tools fact checkers are using, or APIs. We don't know where the claims are found, selected, collected, filtered, categorized, stored, flagged, or published. And I mean, since Facebook and Google are the main funders of fact checking in the world, there's a lot of sort of collaboration with them. And we don't know what it means to be a Facebook certified fact checkers. Does Facebook push, aid, limit the claims to check? We know that they don't want to have fact checkers checking a political advertisement. And that's sort of one thing that Facebook wants to keep to itself. But what else we don't know. And we don't know who, how, and where all the claims and data are physically stored. We don't know about the metadata. We don't know about if there preferred structuring of data using specific tags. We don't know how the claims are transmitted to Facebook and other stakeholders, or to what extent these fact checks are publicly available for the research database. And we don't know if and how there's a collaboration with any other international organization when it comes to checking in practice and sharing unverified and debunks claims such as Pointer, which is basically funded by Facebook, FactCheck.org, and Snopes, etc. So there's a lot of things we don't know and we need to find out. And then there are some challenges. I mean, this Facebook tool, CrowdTangle, where you can get data from Facebook, is difficult to discern between smaller claims in active groups. You get a lot of attention in the meters, and larger claims with more spread. And how to achieve maximum impact for a claim. How do you know if the claim has already been debunked in some other languages? This is a problem. I mean, we know about English, we know about Spanish, German, maybe Portuguese, maybe Hindi. I'm not quite sure about that. And for instance, in India, fact checkers have solved the problem with fact check point-to-point encrypted media, such as WhatsApp, with using a tip line. And then, of course, local claims, check claims in local environments. We don't know how to do that. And then, of course, we have all these fringe groups where facts do not necessarily play a role. And I think the overall challenge is probably that people don't really care about fact checking. I mean, a lot of people don't care if something is true or not. They might just share it anyway. I mean, there's reasons for sharing things they even know that's not true because they find it interesting. So main challenges. In Media Futures, we have Vinay Sethi from University of Stavanger, who has proposed this pipeline, or says this is sort of the already standard pipeline for automated fact-checking systems, detecting checkworthy claims, retrieving relevant documents, selecting most relevant snippets for the claim, and predicting the veracity of the claim. So this is probably some kind of framework for what we're going to do. And what will be the dream tools for fact checkers? We don't know that either, but we think, or it could be a machine learning model that would have the capability to discern checkworthy claims from a corpus of claims in order to save time in the claim selection process. and a further development of the tool to include sentiment analysis, determining what the emotional markers in the text are, so some kind of emotional analytics. And you can stop me anytime if you have any questions or remarks. So, I mean, if we have some sort of, this is a Google-funded claim review project where you have a way to identify fact-check articles for search engines and apps. You might be familiar with this. It's a tagging system that fact-checkers can use to identify their articles for search engines and social media platforms such as Google Search, Google News, Bing, Facebook, and YouTube. The platforms then use the tags to promote and highlight fact-checked articles. And PolitiFact has this, you're probably familiar with the Truthometer. For instance, there's been a Truthometer on Donald Trump, which has been giving quite awful results. And it seems like Facebook, at least when it comes to hate speech, is doing much work than before. This is a graph from yesterday, distributed by Statista, about pieces of content removed flagged by Facebook from containing hate speech before users reported it. So mostly through AI. So something seems like the quality of Facebook detection systems is getting better. But I don't know the background to this graph. I just find it really interesting. And it's quite, if you see, I mean, it seems like Facebook is taking the critique quite seriously, even though I suspect that Mark Zuckerberg has little or no control over bad actors, but this points to some positive development. And we're going to work together with a project at Oslomet and Högskolan Christiania called SCAM, Source Criticism and Mediated Disinformation, because they're already working on these issues. And we're going to have a meeting in Bergen on the 22nd of November with Bente Kalsnes, who's the sort of national and academic expert on fake news in Norway. And we're going to have Lasha, who is a PhD candidate at Christiania University College and the University of Bergen. He has last year as second supervisor. And he's going to working on fact-checking technology. So we're going to get together on the 22nd of November, and you're all invited to join us for a whole day seminar on fact-checking technology. In SCAM, they also have a collaboration with Lucas Graves, who's the leading researcher when it comes to fact-checking technology in the US. And he's written this book, Deciding What's True, The Rise of Political Fact-Checking in American Journalism, which is a really good one, and sort of focused mainly on PolitiFact. And then, of course, we have Vinay. He's going to be joining us online from Germany. And he has this startup, Factiverse, with search tools for journalists. So he's going to be talking about that. And in the chat, I put the video. If you haven't seen it, there's a presentation from April at UAB this year, where he talks for an hour about what Factiverse does and what fact-checking technology means. And it's well worth checking it out. And then this is not enough. We have sort of, I mean, Media City Bergen is an amazing place. So we have also NCE Media, which has a Horizon 2020 project named Models Media Europe, and which is a sort of a startup factory, really. I mean, they monitor mentoring and helping startups. And this is a list of startups doing fact-checking technology or some kind of sort of in that direction. So, and Factiverse is part of that portfolio. So that's basically what I wanted to talk about. It took me only 17 minutes. So if you have any questions here or comments and something you want to say, please, maybe Andreas can moderate.
Okay, thanks a lot, Carl-Gustav. That was very concise and concrete. Yeah, please raise your hands if you have questions. One immediate question from me is I was interested in the tip line you mentioned, the Indian solution. Could you say a little more about how that works. And I mean, you said it solved the problem with these end-to-end encrypted social media. And I think that there's more and more of them, because you also have Telegram, you have people, especially young people, and especially maybe the closed groups that's really dangerous when it comes to spreading misinformation. They will more and more move over from the kind of open, transparent social media to these types. So yeah.
Yeah, fortunately, I don't know much more than this is from John's presentation, which he sent us by email. So something's going on there. I'm going to speak with one Indian researcher at Global Fact next week, who is doing something in that direction, but I'm not quite sure what. So I'm still waiting for a response from him.
But it's going to be a major issue. I think that more and more this will creep into the end-to-end cryptography space.
I had a question from Anna first. So.
Yes, please, Anna.
No, I was just clapping. That wasn't that.
Then we have Enrico.
Yeah, I'll start my. Thanks, Carl-Gustav, for the presentation. I just have a question. I would like to understand a bit better the kind of scope of fact checking that the project is trying to tackle, because of course there are there is a spread of possibilities, from kind of fake news and from the intention to deceive and spread let's say alternative truth, as Trump or the Trump spokesman talked about, versus kind of sort of inaccuracies, mistakes, etc. So, for example, if you look at the EU report on fake news, they try really to to define as precisely as possible what they are talking about. And of course, they talk about they say you can still have opinion pieces in which you have your own view, which may differ from other views. Mistakes can be made, etc. So, is this something that you guys are going to look at, to try to characterize more precisely what is the kind of phenomena that you want to inspect?
We haven't discussed that. I'm quite sure that we will rely on the fact checkers in this case. I mean, what are their view? How do they think about fake news? I mean, it's not just fake news. It's, as you said, it can be mistakes, misunderstandings, but it can also be commercial motivations to advertise money. Could be political. I mean, the main spreaders of disinformation are established political figures or in the world. I mean, like Donald Trump and others. So, I mean, that's a problem. I mean, if people believe that their authorities and authorities are spreading news that are sort of information that is not true, how do you sort of, from a fact-checking perspective, deal with that, since people don't care?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's actually what I had in mind. I mean, I live in the UK, so we know a lot about the main political figures, spreading misinformation.
Yeah, I think the UK and the US has certainly different context compared with the Nordic countries. I mean, we tend to believe that things are true. And the trust in news in the Nordic countries are really high. For instance, Finland has the highest trust in news in the world. So, I mean, there's some trust in authorities, even though it's maybe going down. But we have a good foundation for it. I mean, as I said, trust is the Nordic gold. But can this be transferred to any other place? It would be interesting to see to work. I mean, through the EDMO hub system, we can work with Southern Europe, where there's no trust in news, or Eastern Europe, when there's absolutely no trust in news. So we could have a comparison between high trust countries and low trust countries to see, what can be done. Can we export something from the Nordic countries, or a model, or is it just futile to think that somebody in another country will sort of accept this way of thinking?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, actually, if I can make having grown up in a low trust country like Italy, and now I've been living in UK for so long, it's actually really interesting, because UK, I think we have now the worst of both worlds, because I think there's still a relatively high trust, in a situation in which actually the politicians are no longer the traditional British politicians. So we, and I think, so I actually find myself thinking, actually it would be nicer if UK became like Italy, a low trust country, because at the moment I found that this is a problem. There is still a quite high level of trust in the government in a situation which, like we have a prime minister, which is pretty similar to Trump, I would just say at work. So yeah, so it's actually quite interesting, this high trust, low trust versus the political landscape.
Yeah, this is something I have been sort of thinking about quite a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, for those who are interested in surveys on this, the Reuters labs at Oxford, they are running this Trust in Media project. So they have just released a report kind of the status of that and how Corona has affected the international trust in the news and so on. Any further questions or comments? I looked at the pipeline you were presenting, the 5-step, and I think that's just a comment. I think already it's quite clearly that you can add a fifth step in the pipeline, which is explanation. So I guess that's also interesting to see if these tools we are going to survey, what they do to try to explain and make their decisions grounded.
Yeah, it's true.
Any other comments or questions? So from the start, a lot of the activity on our side in Bergen is going to be surveying and assessing and reporting on the state of the art of existing fact-checking tools that are in actual use. Have you come kind of further, or have we come further with developing a framework or kind of a way to do that, or is this up to the researcher we're going to hire?
Well, we haven't had any of us had time yet. I mean, we're going to employ students. I have some students who are interested in contributing to the project in the mapping part, but we need to instruct them and work with the framework. Mm-hmm. And then we have the researcher coming hopefully soon, because this is a short project. This is really a sprint.
Yeah. Okay, but if there are no further questions and comments, I say thanks a lot again, Carl-Gustav, for coming, and I think this is very interesting stuff for all of Media Futures and for work package 3 in particular. So I hope we can have a fruitful exchange of ideas and maybe do some joint work and have some synergy between our activities. Or
yeah, I think it should be
in both projects. Okay, so
thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, and
have a nice lunch.
You all.
Nice weekend.